herd of 50. And this is what I was anticipating. But I had a bonus because I saw certain things that as an elephant ethologist, I still can't give proper explanations to what happened. Because I have seen dominant males chasing subordinate males away from a estrus female, but I have never seen females chasing a male. While the tusker is ignoring him and moving away, these two approaching elephants are females. And this is the first time I have seen a female chasing a male. So that's another very unusual photograph, because you will never see a photograph of a female chasing a male. He's chased away. Then he stops a little, then she tries to follow chasing him, and then when he continues running, she turns back. Then she's chasing him again, and then once he takes off, she stops and comes back to the herd. So that was the second unusual thing that I saw there. And here you see the dominant tusker coming towards the other female. And many of you may not know what he is doing. He is checking to see whether she is in estrus. Then you see him sniffing the ground and putting his trunk into its mouth. The female, he thinks the female is in estrus. She has urinated there. In the urine you get pheromones that will indicate that she is in estrus. He is testing it, and he confirms it by putting his trunk into the upper palate of his mouth, because there is a gland there that will verify whether confirm whether she is in estrus or not. Right? So all this happened there, and I was the only one watching it, because everybody else was going to see some other herd, because none of them understood behavior. That's why I keep telling photographers, learn behavior of the species you want to photograph. You will get much better photographs than what you are doing today. And see, I do all this without breaking any rules or harassing any animals. Right? Some of the do's and don'ts for an ethical wildlife photographer. Watch and study behavior. Be observant of any changes in behavior. If your vehicle is approaching too close and the animal's behavior changes, you have got too close to the animal. You should stop at that point. Not try to get any closer. Let the animal resume its natural behavior. Do not disturb a resting animal. It is resting because it is tired. Do you like when you are sleeping at night if somebody comes and lights firecrackers under your window? When you are sleeping, you are tired, you are asleep, people come and wake you up, you are not happy with it. Why are we going and waking an animal up when the animal is resting? Right? It is resting because it doesn't want to expend energy, especially during seasons where there is less food, the dry season. Don't interrupt life cycles, like the people at Modaragaradi, getting down to go and photograph leopard mating. That is a life cycle, don't interrupt that. Don't interfere with what they are doing. Don't interrupt animals when they are eating. They are eating because they are hungry. Unlike us, they don't eat and eat just because there is food. They eat only when they are hungry. So don't interrupt them or disturb them when they are eating. And don't get in their way. I think it was in 2019 that there was an incident in Yala National Park where a tusker called Nandimitra bashed a vehicle pretty badly. I was in the park that day and I heard about it, right? And going out of the park, I saw the vehicle, it had been towed up to the gate and the driver was also there. So I stopped and asked the driver, what exactly happened? Because I said I study elephant behavior, I would like to know what happened. And he told me, well, අනේ මන් දන්නේ නැහැ සර් මම මේ නිකන් අර බැල්මල් කෙම පාරේ යනකොට අලිය ඇවිල්ලා වාහනේ ගොඩ කරා. My wife was with me and I told my wife this man is talking nonsense because no elephant behaves like that. Something else has happened which he is not telling us. Right? And interestingly something else had happened. Because in that vehicle there were 2 Russian tourists, 2 Ukrainian tourists and 2 French tourists. The Ukrainian tourist had written that about that experience in Ukrainian on her Facebook page. I have a close friend of mine whose partner is Ukrainian. She has read this, she translated it to English and gave it to my friend saying, give it to Sumit. And guess what the translation says? We had a very nice safari and when it was almost time for us to go out, on our way out we went down this side road and we saw this beautiful tusker. The tusker politely chased us out of its territory. And then she goes on to say, since this is a Buddhist country, I guess that's why she used this term, only the Buddha knows why the driver went back there. That is how they got smashed. Right? And I know some photographers tell you to do that, like what those guys did. Say, reverse karanda, gahuwak mambala ganna. If that vehicle was smashed, you think that photographer would have ever paid the driver to repair the vehicle? No way. That's what I keep telling the drivers, you people are stupid. You people think they are going to look after you. When something serious happens, they are not going to look after you. You'll be out of job. Right? So, we provoke these situations by irritating animals. This was the driver's fault, but I know some photographers do this. I've been going to national parks in this country. I'm 65 years old now. I started going when I was 5 years old, so I have gone for 60 years. I have seen the changes. So I'm not talking through second-hand experience, I'm talking through first-hand experience. When I blame photographers for doing wrong things, I have seen photographers doing wrong things. I'm not saying every photographer here is like that, but I have seen a majority of photographers doing wrong things. That's why I keep saying that. You can get close to an animal only if the animal is downwind of you. Sorry, the animal is upwind of you. So that animal doesn't get downwind of you, animal doesn't get your smell. If the animal senses you, the animal's behavior changes. Animal can be aggressive and you're disturbing the animal. So the most important characteristics of an ethical wildlife photographer, which many of you, I'm very sorry to say that many of you don't have, is patience. When I was younger, when I was being taken to parks by Dr. Upen De Silva, we used to get sick of life, sitting in a vehicle all day, waiting for this bird to come out of this nest. But that's how I got used to doing ethical things in wildlife parks, not disturbing animals. So those of you who are doing things that are disturbing and harming animals, please make up your mind even today that I'm not going to do it. Always remember disturbing animals. Before I end, I would like to say that there are conservation consequences for undisciplined visitation and harassment of wildlife. Studies done in Udawalawe by Dr. Shermin De Silva shows that when you're surrounding elephants, when the elephants are feeding, if you surround them with vehicles, they stop feeding and they get into protection mode. And we are not surrounding them for half an hour, 1 hour. We are surrounding them for hours. So if they don't feed properly for hours, what will happen to their body condition? They will get weaker. That will have an impact on their reproduction and their long-term health. So we have to be careful when we are going close to animals that we do not create problems for them and their natural behavior. I was reading another study that was published in Mammalian Biology of a study done in Thailand in 2016. Overall, they compared a over-visited national park like Yala National Park with an under-visited national park. The reproduction rate of leopards in the under-visited park was way higher than the reproduction rate of leopards in over-visited park, because the over-visited park, the leopards are under stress. So aren't we killing the goose that lays the golden egg? We go to Yalaville Park because of the leopards, we harass them so much that their reproduction will start going down, and then the leopard population will start going down. So unless we watch it, we are going to do things like that. So, if we are doing wildlife photography, please keep in mind The priority is the wildlife, not you. The priority is wildlife. It is your job to ensure that they are okay, even if you miss a photograph. You can go again. You guys go regularly, I know that. So there is no necessity on the first trip to get all the photographs you want. Right? So we should learn to behave well. Before ending, I like to talk about this. None of us like corruption. Is there anybody here who likes a corrupt politician? Raise your hand, please. Is there anybody in this room who likes a corrupt politician? Nobody. Very good. Why don't you like a corrupt politician? Why don't you like a corrupt politician? They break the laws of the land. They destroy property, natural the resources of this country to make money. Break the laws, destroy natural resources to make money. If you go into a park, break the park rules, harass wildlife to take a good photograph. What is the difference between a corrupt politician and you? There is no difference between them. In your sphere of influence, you are breaking the rules in a park, you are harassing the wildlife in that park, so that you can get a good photograph, so that you can put it on Facebook or put it in an exhibition, earn money, sell it, or even just to display it somewhere. So those of you who say you don't like corrupt politicians, don't become like one. Because that's exactly what you are doing inside a national park. So please be careful when you do things like this. So I think the wildlife photographers have a very big role to play in conservation of wildlife also. Because wildlife photography is possible only if there is wildlife to photograph. If there is no wildlife to photograph, we can't have this exhibition today. If we destroy the wildlife during our generation, our lifetime, our children and grandchildren will not be able to have wildlife photography exhibitions because there won't be wildlife for them to photograph. Wildlife will survive only if wildlife is conserved and protected, and people like you who go to photograph animals have a very important role to ensure that they are conserved and protected. As photographers, you have a responsibility to ensure the wildlife resources of Sri Lanka are conserved for your own good. Because for whatever reason, you are doing wildlife photography. The natural resource base or the wildlife base has to be there for you to continue wildlife photography. So conserving the resources is your responsibility, not just taking one short photograph on one occasion to help with what happens to the wildlife. So you have to play your part in the conservation of wildlife in Sri Lanka. And I would like to apologize to some good wildlife photographers. There are some very ethical wildlife photographers. I can see some of them in the audience. When I criticize wildlife photographers, I am not criticizing everybody, but I am criticizing a majority. I am saying without any fear that a majority behaves like this because you can think deep down, go into your heart and think, is what this guy is saying true or not? Am I behaving like what he said? If I am behaving like what he said, maybe I should change the way I behave when I go to a national park to photograph wildlife, or even when I am outside the national park photographing wildlife. Thank you very much.